Yo, what is up, Night Siegers? Rick here, bringing you a DFO content update that we got Tuesday, May the 22nd. And while I think it may have been hyped up a bit, I think at least a few of you guys are actually excited about what we got. Solo Anton and a slew of very helpful events like Golden Goblin. Are you ready? Oh, let's go. First off, Solo Anton is released. It's exactly what it sounds like. Complete Anton Raid content by yourself. The difficulty and gimmicks involved are all catered to someone who is of average gear. I'd say that you should be perfectly fine if you got a good weapon and some legendary gear sets, but I've seen plenty do it with less than that, class permitting of course. If you're a satyr or a class with 0 holds, you might have a better time just getting into normal Anton Raids. Anyway, if you go into the Anton Raid channel, you merely have to go to Haram here and create a raid group with the option Solo selected. You'll still need the standard entry requirements sold by name though. Don't forget to pick the fire-eating weapon quest line as well, which will give you a random savior weapon. And while the actual dungeon itself, not much to explain. If you've done raid before, you know what it's all about, with all of the gimmicks that require more than one person all adjusted. If you haven't done normal Anton Raid, then it's still a pretty decent place to practice it before you're thrown into the fray. Rewards are probably the least appealing thing about Solo Raid, however, not granting any demon invitations and instead only dropping raid specific loot like Anton Soul Fragments, savior weapons, and special mob drops. As most of you guys know though, Anton Raid is the single most efficient source of demon invitations in the game, so I'd still say Solo Anton definitely did not replace the good old Anton Raid. It's just more of a simple alternative. To go along with the Anton Solo release, we've got the Anton Solo support event. When you sign into your character on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, you'll receive a bag of bread that has some lives in it as well as some account bound potions, usable for the event period. I think it's worth it to at least sign in to get the lives, because that's literally hundreds of free lives for someone like me. Clearing Solo Anton 3 and 5 times will give you a cute Tog and egg in a pet, bound to character once opened, and retrieving both pets will also give you this cute Tog and egg in a popcorn time awakening cut-in picture, but giving a lot of those out as of late. Speaking of events though guys, as usual we got some 4 other new events, so I'll try to go over them as quickly as possible. Hunting time is back baby, with no special theme or anything. Most notably, we've got 30 quest legendary material boxes to boost your legendary sets and 60 condensed Antonium boxes. That is equivalent of 1/40th of your savior weapon. I mean honestly, it's not much to even mention here, kind of a lame honey time honestly. Iris's weekly pick is an event that grants you 1 generator of your choosing. A generator is merely an item that generates a certain material once a day when used. We've got Antonium, monster beads, dark sources, catalysts for epic weapon crafting, experience capsules, and others. Just keep in mind that the generator can only be selected once per week, and while it is shared amongst your account, it's bound on character. Because of this, make sure that you get the generator on the character that you want. Also, don't forget to actually use the generator every day before daily reset as well. The next event, Return of the Golden Goblin, is a massive chance to get you some free epics. So, sorry if this video and information didn't get to you on time. If you use up 20 FP, you'll generate yourself a Golden Goblin run on your next dungeon run, which will show up on your minimap. A good strat is to enter and leave special dungeons and or use FP Express to burn your FP immediately. If you decide to kill him, he has a very high chance of dropping a level 75 to 85 epic. It can be pretty much any epic, but don't be fooled. There are a ton of even lower leveled epics that are useful that you probably wouldn't have gotten otherwise. I mean, look at my lightning speed epic here for instance. If not, he'll just drop 3 ordinary goblin pot fragments instead, which are used to redeem items at the Gold Butt NPC in Syria's room. Among these items is a selectable epic weapon box for level 85. It's a huge deal, and there's a thread on Reddit by iammenghp, what the fuck, that gives some great suggestions if you're at a loss of what to choose. On the weekend, Gold Butt also gives you 3 entry counts to a short dungeon, which ultimately is just an excuse to give 3 extra Golden Goblins on top of the daily 3. The last event is another one of those flexing type events. The DFO Premier League, or DPL for short, shows itself for the first time in DFOG. Korean DPL is a huge competition where you basically speedrun the hardest content in the game, period. In this case, it's going to be a specialized loot dungeon, but even stronger than normal, and all of it is going to be in one continuous dungeon with various limitations on what are considered OP gear like resets. This event is kind of like a baby version of that, As far as I can tell on the event page, we are not competing with each other, but instead all teams who reach a certain time bracket on their clear of the DPL loot dungeon will receive these rewards. You can enter the DPL channel by going into the special tab, and you're allowed to go in as many times as your FP allows, as well as use any items that are sold in the DPL shop. This is the kind of content that a lot of people can't participate in, but I guess it's a great way to flex your gear and team composition when pushed to the max. And with that, guys, I don't really have much else to say about the updates. Just make sure that you do your Golden Goblin and use your Iris's generators daily. Have a good Memorial Day weekend, and I will catch you knights later.